Hello, what team are you with?
We are Pathos Studios.
Hello. And what's your game about? What's in it?
Essentially also a puzzle adventure game, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got any more? It's about a little girl who's lost and she's trying to find her way home.
Alright, cool.
And the whole game is designed around the theme of the foster care system and how children cope in the system.
Okay.
So it's everything in the game represents that, but it's not too dark that kids can't play it.
Alright, cool. So when did you start making this game? How long has it been in production?
We started concepting and getting ideas around because of the narrative. We didn't want to, it took a long time to design that, didn't it? So we started that in January. But actual production of what's on the tablets there has been about 7 weeks.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So
7 long weeks.
7 very long, tiring weeks.
And are you happy with the game as it is? Are you enjoying the competition so far?
Yes, really happy, really
There's some
enjoying
fantastic games here as well.
Alright, great. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to my review of the Dare version of Pathos. Pathos is a block-pushing puzzle game where you guide a girl through a cave. This game picks a collection of its favourite video game puzzles and puts them one after the other. There are some block-pushing puzzles, and a puzzle where you have to wait on one end of a scale to put the other end higher, then a puzzle where you have to avoid enemies that walk back and forth. As far as I could tell, the most original mechanic here is the ability to flip the world at specific locations by turning your tablet over. However, I didn't really understand what this was supposed to do, and it mainly seemed to make minor differences that opened up the path to the next part of the game. This isn't much of a puzzle. The main problem with block pushing puzzles is that after the player solves the puzzle in their mind, they then have to spend a lot of time wandering around to the correct angle and then pushing the block a bit, then walking again, and pushing the block again until they get to the solution. Personally, I find this tedious. Pathos adds to this tediousness by not letting you turn the blocks, but having to push them to a specific point which can turn blocks. I also have a problem with the controls. Although the game is isometric and the game is for a touchscreen, the developers decided to have arrows that point up, down, left and right to move around, instead of arrows that point in diagonal directions to match the way that the character actually moves. Because of this, it took me a while to get used to which arrow moves the girl which way. Then the player has to touch things in the middle of the screen with one hand whilst holding the device at a corner with the other hand to stay close to the arrows, which is difficult and caused me to press buttons on the side of the tablet. There are also a couple of problems with the way the game is laid out. There was a point when the character was behind the control arrows, a point where I could walk on some rocks that didn't look like they could be walked on, and another point where a piece of the scenery was blocking a staircase that I needed to walk up. The environment needs to be totally clear on where the player can and can't go, because a puzzle without all the pieces is not fair. I appreciate that this is difficult with a fixed camera angle and several layers of height as the character walks up and down stairs. I get the feeling that the narrative was supposed to be the different and interesting part of this experience, however the first level failed to interest me. Words come up on the screen in a few locations that are totally meaningless. Maybe the full game and after another batch of the same old puzzles it would begin to mean something. But as a first level, it didn't get me interested to play any more of the game in any way. The game is also the most noticeably buggy. Walking animations constantly don't trigger. At one point, I walked through an enemy, and a bug in a puzzle rendered the puzzle unsolvable. While the Dare format means that each game is bound to have bugs, this was easily the least functionable of the lot. In conclusion, there is a good amount of game and quality here for 5 people to make over 2 months, so it doesn't feel fair to compare it to some of the other games here that are made by larger groups of people over larger time periods. This game would have been the standard at a previous Dare event where 5 people 2 months was part of the competition restrictions. In the new environment, however, this game falls behind with some odd design choices, stale old puzzles, an incoherent story, and a large collection of bugs.